Hello. Hello, people. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are ya? How are ya? How are ya? How are ya, fellow dirt eaters? Welcome. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Hi, everybody. Hi, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm your perfect and humble leader, Chris Valenti. You guys are the early birds, catching the worm. We're all crashing out live with the stock market today. Now we're doing a whole bunch of stuff, but we always open up with something. Lillian with the $5. I'm always happy to watch your commentary. Thank you, Lillian. Let's get some W Lillians in the chat. Really appreciate yous. Really appreciate yous. Appreciate yous. Listen, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It costs you nothing, helps me immensely. If you do want to help the channel financially, there's a couple of ways you could do it. You could do what Lillian just did by donating cash. You can also buy some dope-ass Valenti Videos merch down below. You can also become a patron on Patreon and get access to the Patreon-only videos. You can become a member here for $5 to get early access to the videos. And last but certainly not least, you could use a 40% off discount for ground news in the description down below. Other than that, hi, how are ya? Hi, Samantha Ray Ritsu with the Dirt Eater reporting for duty. Thank you for the $2. Thank you for the $2. Hi, how are ya? Welcome. I'm writing a paper on FDR's first inaugural address, and I was wondering if talking about his passion in the speech is a good point. I mean, sure. I mean, if you're talking about the speech, you should probably stick to the substance of the speech. That would probably be your best bet, personally. All right, guys. So we got a lot to cover today. It looks like the market is it's kind of relatively coming back. So let's look at this. I mean, we got the Dow here. The day trade on the Dow. Look at this. If you remember the other day, yesterday was like down 5%. The day before, down 5%. The day before, down 5%. We're still in the red with the Dow, but it's not as bad. It's almost 1% down today. It's down 349 points, right? So this ain't the worst thing in the world, okay? And then we've got the S&P, also down, but not nearly as bad as it was the other day. Remember the other day it was fucking down 5%. Now, today, it's only down, 0.25%. And then I believe the NASDAQ is actually up, right? Look at this! We're in the green, ladies and gentlemen. Granted, we're in the green 0.099%, so not even 1/100th of a percent, right? Right? Is that what that is? I don't fucking know. But we're almost there. You see that fake Twitter post about the White House? Yeah, so part of the reason why the market is doing a little bit better today, and I have the document, I'll pull it up in a second. It's actually really fucking funny, is because somebody tweeted out, somebody fucking, I don't know how, but somebody was like, hey, Trump is going to do a 90-day delay on all these tariffs. He's going to give other countries 90 days and just pause it. And the market was like, what? No way. And then it goes up. And then fucking Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, came out and was like, no, that's fake news. He's not putting a delay. And the market goes, fuck, and starts going right back down again. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But yeah, so the NASDAQ is at least up a slight bit. It's up 15 points, all right? So, not the end of the world, huh? Not the end of the world. Figured I'd ask to go to history before I did. No, that's absolutely fair of you. That's absolutely fair of you. That's fair of you. So I've got a couple of links here. Let's see what we've got here. I believe Kyle Kalinsky has a chart of how the day started. Here we go. What do we got here? Put it on the tab. Is it working? No, that didn't work. I want you to go in the tab. Go in the tab. Because when I do full screen, oh, I see the problem. One could speculate that they see this problem. I understand it now. I understand it now. Bang. That'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Big shout out to Kyle Kalinske. You guys make sure you follow Kyle Kalinske. Secular Talk. He's a genius. I love the guy. Global stocks plunge as Trump says tariffs will stay. Stock market since Trump's inauguration. So the black line is us, the United States. And the different stock markets. Relative. I mean, we weren't doing the best. But suddenly, as soon as we get to him floating around the idea of tariffs, right? Bringing up the idea of Liberation Day, things get worse and worse and worse. And then we hit Liberation Day right here. Fucking plummet. An absolute fucking plummet. Unbelievable. Really need all that space for a shitty ad? Indeed I do. Speaking of that shitty ad, make sure you guys go down below and buy some of that Valenti videos and merch. Helps me out a lot. So that's remarkable. That's a remarkable fuck up. I don't know how Trump supporters defend. I mean, I know how they do it, but I just can't fucking believe that they do it. I can't believe that they fucking defend the demise of their own economy. It's like, brother, you know that you live under this economy, right? This is not a foreign nation. This is us. Very interesting. Very interesting, if you ask me. What else do we got here?
When I win the election, we will immediately begin a brand new Trump economic boom. Vote Trump and you're in. When I win the election, we will immediately begin a brand new Trump economic boom. Vote Trump and your incomes will soar, your net worth will skyrocket. Groceries, cars, everything. We're going to get the prices down.
President Trump made a lot of promises on the campaign
Oh, before we start, just so you know, I fucking hate CNN, but we're going to watch this regardless.
trail, but he didn't talk to voters or warn them that their 401ks would take a nosedive.
And to all you Trump supporters, we watch Fox News on here too. You have to watch mainstream media to understand what the average Joe is consuming. Whether you're a hater or whether you like this channel, if you're here, you're not the average American. Just because, like, you consume, I guess what you could call new media, right? This legacy media, Fox, CNN, MSNBC, younger people like us don't watch this, but it is important to watch it so that you can understand what the average Joe is fucking watching. All right? You agree? You got it?
And that tariffs would make almost everything more expensive. CNN's chief data analyst Harry Enten is joining us now. Hello, Harry. You're going to run the numbers for us. I am very curious to see what you found out about all of this. So let's start first with how unique the drop in the market is under Trump, because I have heard from some Republicans that say this is pretty normal stuff.
Yeah, if this is pretty normal stuff, I'd like to know what not normal stuff is. If this is a boom, I'd like to know what a bust is. I mean, my goodness gracious. We'll talk about it. I mean, talk about the S&P 500. It's dropped 15% under Donald Trump's presidency. The S&P 500 has been collecting data essentially since 1957. It's been an index. I went back and I looked for drops of 15% with a president who was inheriting a bull market. There's only one dude on your screen. It's Donald John Trump. He is the only one to see a drop of 15%.
This guy's kind of funny. I got to admit, there's only one guy on the screen, Donald John Trump.
Doing into his presidency in the S&P 500 after inheriting a bull market. In fact, there's only one other president who has seen a drop of 15% this early on in his presidency, and that was George W. Bush back in 2001. But of course, he was in fact inheriting the dot-com bubble bust. And so this is truly unique, where you come in with a bull market and then boom, right through the floor.
The average Joe ain't watching CNN. The below average Joe ain't even watching CNN anymore, save for Scott Jennings. No, but that's where you'd be wrong. Listen, I understand you might not like me, but you are incorrect about that. The average Joes watch Fox News, CNN, and MSNBC. That is what you got to remember. Who's the largest voting bloc in this nation? What is the largest voting bloc in this nation? You got to know the answer to that. Who's the largest voting bloc in this nation? Come on. We could do this, chat. Together, we can answer this. Old people. Thank you, Jeff G. It's the elderly. The elderly vote more than anybody else. All right? They're the largest voting bloc. And they're not fucking watching the Joe Rogan podcast and the Fresh and Fit podcast or Valenti videos or Charlie Kirk. They're not watching us. They're watching CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC. Some of them watch News Nation. But that's the reality. That's the fucking reality, Waffle.
Or Donald Trump, the S&P 500 dropping already 15%, Jessica.
And so there's the market, but then there's the chance
you can
of
turn your volume up. No, it is actually at its maximum right now. So I don't know what the fuck to do about that. I mean, I could pull the mic even closer to me. How's that? There's a limiter on how loud I can get, and this is the maximum volume that I can get. I set that so that I don't fucking break the microphone. This is it. Is this not loud enough? Because there's nothing else I can really do about that. I'm already pretty loud. It's better? All right. What if I went up a little bit more? That's the max. That is the absolute maximum. That is the absolute maximum right there, folks. So this better fucking work. This better fucking work for yous.
broader economic problems. And that chance is right. That possibility is rising, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. A chance of a recession, something none of us want to see. And what's the chance of a recession? I mean, JP...
See, this is why I don't like fucking CNN. Motherfucker, we're in a recession. The fucking market destroyed itself during the COVID-19 pandemic. Biden did what he could to pull us out of it with his fucking brain dead ass. And yeah, we're doing better than we were under COVID, but no, you did not fucking, what the fuck are you saying? God, that pisses me off. Also, I got to figure out what to do about this microphone because it should be able to go a little bit louder than this. It really should.
Morgan, look at this, now up to 60%. It was 40% in early March. How about Goldman Sachs? It was 20% in early March. We're now up to 35%. Basically, at this point, you average all these different companies together who put forecasts out on the chance of a recession. It's about...
This is what happens when you only use the stock market to measure the economy. The stock market is like a, what would I call it? It's like an appetizer before you see how the economy truly reacts, right? Because at the end of the day, the stock market is reliant on the feelings of rich people, right? If rich people want to invest, the stock market goes up. If rich people want to pull their money out, the stock market goes down. That's really all it is.
About 50-50, way up from where we were at the beginning of this year. Poly market, where you can trade, was, I think, a 30% chance at the beginning of the year. Now it's 60%. No bueno. What stays in the stock market, what happens in the stock market may not stay in the stock market, Jessica.
And Americans do seem to be having an issue with how Trump is handling the economy right now.
Yeah, I mean, you look at these numbers, you wouldn't be surprised to see Donald Trump's net approval rating. Compare it now to where it was at this point in the first term. In the first term, he was above water at plus 5 points. Where is he now? He's way underwater. He is swimming with the fishes. Look at this. He is the worst ever for a president at this point in a term on record at minus 12 points. I just never thought I would see the day because, as we were hinting at the beginning, Trump promised an economic boom. Voters bought into it, but so far they ain't liking what they're seeing.
Jimmy Carter's probably the best
He may be a fake New Yorker. He may be a fake New Yorker. He might be.
Example of a president getting taken down by the economy recently. How long did it take 39th president to go into negative territory on the economy?
Yeah, always when you think of economic bust, you think of Jimmy Carter, the recession that occurred under him, right? How long did it take him to get a negative net approval rating on the economy? It took him 11 months. It took him all the way until December 77, January of 78. Donald Trump already has a net negative approval rating only 2 months. 2 months into this term, he is the fastest on record to go negative. And comparing to Carter, I mean, you don't have to be a mathematical genius to know that 2 is a lower number than 11. Carter took a while. Trump, right on in. The voters have turned right against him.
I also want to talk about the protests that we saw across the country yesterday. Those protests were protesting the Trump administration. They generated a lot of interest online. What did you find?
Yeah, so, you know, when we entered the Trump presidency the second time around, there really wasn't that resistance, right? Not what we saw in January of 2017. Well, now
the thing is, during Trump's fucking first term, he didn't use Elon Musk to dismantle our government institutions. He didn't fucking threaten to invade Greenland. He didn't fucking put tariffs on every nation on planet Earth, including the one that is only populated by penguins. So, yeah, no shit. People weren't fucking protesting in the streets during his first term. I fucking hated the guy, but he wasn't a wrecking ball. You know, now he's a fucking wrecking ball.
Now we're starting to see what we saw in January of 2017. Look at this, Jessica. This is Google searches for protests. Get this, up 1,200% versus a year ago. It was the highest level on Saturday, and I went back into the record books. You know I like to do that, Jessica Dean. And what did we see? We see that the number of folks who are searching for protests, interested in going out in those protests, is finally matching what we saw in January of 2017, if not exceeding it. If the Democratic resistance seemed to be nowhere at the start of this Trump presidency, with approval ratings for Democrats down at their lowest level ever, all of a sudden Donald Trump has supercharged it, and the protests and the resistance is on.
All right, Harry Enten walking us through the numbers as he always does. We appreciate it.
Listen, even if the guy's a fake Italian, he's fucking entertaining. I'll give him that. He's entertaining to watch. But, I mean, yeah, no, I mean, you guys know all about the protests that were going on. It was at least 500,000 people. At least 500,000 people nationwide were protesting this Trump regime. And now there's rumors that Elon Musk may be stepping down from his position early, because the thing is, he's got temporary executive power. He's supposed to step down at the end of May unless they extend it. But seems like, you know, I mean, Tesla's going fucking under. He did this desperate live stream playing video games to try and prove that he was good at video games, and he died during the tutorial in the video game. So, Elon is like reaching for straws right now. He's desperate. How you doing, Sarita? How are ya? How are ya? Hey there. Hi, how are ya? What do we got here?
Breaking news.
Your food is shit, your cars are shit, your products are shit, USA are going down. Listen, I love my nation, I love the United States, but you're not wrong when it comes to our food is shit, our cars are shit, and our products are shit. However, our weapons ain't shit. The fucking F-22 ain't shit. A nuclear arsenal ain't shit.
Breaking news, Vice President J.D. Vance just saying the Trump administration is, quote, feeling good about Trump's tariffs.
Of course they are. They're all fucking billionaires.
We're feeling good. Look, I frankly thought in some ways it could be worse in the markets because this is...
Oh, it's the sheep show? Brother, I don't like CNN. I don't watch CNN. What we're doing is trying to understand what the average Joe is consuming in American media. Because the largest voting bloc in the United States is the elderly. It's people 65 up, right? And they're not watching Fresh and Fit podcasts, Joe Rogan, Valenti videos, fucking Pearl Mania, Older Millennial. They're not on social media. But what they are watching is mainstream media. They're watching Fox. They're watching CNN. They're watching MSNBC. What we're doing is trying to understand the perspective of the largest voting bloc in the United States.
This is a big transition. You saw the president said earlier today, it's like a patient who was very sick. We did the operation, and now it's time to make the patient better. Yeah. And that's exactly what we're doing.
All right, this has Jim Cramer from CNBC's Mad Money, who has never been a free trader, right? So he's not just out here to go against them. No. He's saying the White House doesn't seem to understand what it's trying to do and that the reciprocal tariffs are not reciprocal.
They're not.
And could do tremendous damage. So out front now, Jim Cramer of CNBC's Mad Money and Squawk on the Street, all on CNBC, that incredible network that I will love to the day I die.
Just so great to be here with you, Erin.
So, and I'm so thrilled that we're able to talk. Okay, so what the heck is going on?
Well, I'm let down because yes, I'm not a free trader. I'm a fair trader, always have been from the days when you worked with me at CNBC.
Yep.
And what I was hoping was that a coordinated thing where if you are charging us 20%, we charge you 20%. Instead of a car where we're only making...
That's what a reciprocal tariff is. I know that Donald Trump has said that he's doing reciprocal tariffs over and over again. That's not what he's doing. At all. That's not what he's doing. You could see the numbers. These are not reciprocal tariffs.
Making you pay 2.5 and you're not letting us in. We try to get things better. But instead,
I guess I just don't understand how you people are against somebody exposing all the millions of dollars that was wasted. It's just mind-blowing to me. Ryan, you are very confused. I'm not against somebody exposing government waste. Government waste is very real, and we have methods to target it and to charge people with fraud. We had inspectors generals until fucking Trump fired all of them. But Elon Musk has provided zero evidence to any of these claims. And in fact, some of the claims that he has made have been disproven. For example, I'm certain you've heard of the $50 million in condoms for Gaza, right? CNN is a good source. No, it's not. It's not a good... That's not... Brother, what? That's not what we're talking about here. Calm down. We are watching this to understand what the fuck everybody else is watching. That's what this is. The fact that you're here alone already proves that you are not the average Joe. The average Joe is not watching or even hate watching fucking content creators on YouTube. Anyway, let's keep watching this.
On a specific thing, you go, if they're there 10 on a car, you go 10 on a car.
But I went deep on the numbers today, and the numbers did not make any sense. And I was actually
I was doing like bananas in Vietnam. You did Cramerica.
Well, I just said, it's one of these things where if I'm doing 100 billion and you're letting me do 10 billion and I'm letting you do 100 billion, there was a way to be able to make it work. But the numbers that they did, and they had this ridiculous, that was the chart that they had with the mathematical equation.
Real quick, wait, you have proof that he isn't telling the truth about everything? No. But we have proof that he was lying about the $50 million in condoms to Gaza, and then Trump expanded that lie and said it was actually $100 million in condoms for Hamas, and that Hamas was using the condoms as like bombs to send over to Israel. Like, that was disproven. That was disproven. I don't hate you guys because of your opinion over this. It's just mind-blowing to me. Like I said, no, but Ryan, you have a fundamental misunderstanding. What we have seen Elon Musk do, or Doge, I'm assuming this whole thing is about Doge. What we have seen is, like, for example, what Dat Boy just said. Why hasn't one person been charged with fraud? He clearly hasn't found any fraud because nobody's been charged with fraud. This is CNN. It's like if I came on and showed you a bunch of stuff from Fox News, of course it's going to be biased. Yes, of course it's going to be biased. But what we're talking about is not CNN. I'm not talking about CNN at all. What? Chatter, come on. We're not talking about CNN. We were just watching this because it was available for all of us to do good. I know the government is just sucking up money and spending however they want. Yes, but Ryan, let me just ask you if you don't believe that, then you are a sheep. No, nobody is disputing that the government wastes money. Nobody is disputing that. I wish that what Elon Musk was actually defunding was government waste. But can I ask you one question, or a couple really? Do you believe that the VA needs more money or needs less money? The VA. Can't charge an entity. All this fraud is being done by government offices. No, there would be somebody that you could charge with fraud because they're claiming that this money is going into the pockets of somebody. So, because he has half the government of the United States, why? Okay, I don't think me asking questions is going to work. You're not going to answer the question. Just a simple question. Do you believe that the VA should get more money or less money? That's a pretty simple question. I thought that was a video I was just seeing. No, not at all. This video is just Jim Cramer, the host of Mad Money, talking about tariffs. That's all this is. All I'm trying to say is that the things that we have seen Doge defund are like the VA. They defunded parts of the VA and they fired 80,000 workers at the VA, many of which are our veterans. That's not waste, fraud, and abuse in my eyes at all. They shouldn't have touched that. They fucking targeted Social Security. They cut benefits for children who have dead parents. Because not a lot of people know this, but if both of your parents are dead, you will receive a Social Security check before you're 65 years old. That entire program was cut by Doge. I think that's fucking nuts. What's this channel about? I'm a democratic socialist. I cannot turn up the volume. This is the absolute max for the volume. I can get closer to the fucking microphone, but that's about it. I'll try and fix the microphone when I get the chance. Trump all the way, let's go. Cry me a river lib. Copy that, brother. Nobody but fraudulent claims were cut. That's incorrect, Mr. Lowell. That's incorrect. They cut the entire program for children who receive Social Security because their parents are dead. The entire program. What are you talking about? Don't you think that some things the CNN is reporting Doge findings in negative light without... Dude, this CNN has nothing to do with Doge. This has nothing to do with Doge at all. I just have this up because we were looking at what fucking elderly people are watching regarding tariffs. That's all this is. All right. Regardless, let's just keep fucking watching.
I mean, are you kidding me? How about just like...
It looked like an Einstein.
I know. How about the fact that it was just wrong?
Yeah.
And what bothered me, Aaron, was that they really did, over and over again, the president said, listen, it's going to be reciprocal. So you do it, we do it. And that was going to be so good. And I really believed in it. And I feel like a sucker tonight. Because I am not a free trader, and I do not believe in free trade. And I was just as tough, if not tougher, than his people. But they screwed it up, and they did it a totally ill-advised way. And I was very let down as someone who really, truly believes that free trade is awful for the American working person. This is what they came up with. Geez, come on, have some gumption, have some math.
I mean, how in the world do they do that after all of this? I mean, Jerome Powell,
they assured us over and over again, Aaron, that they were going to do the thing that would make it so that the tariffs would come down and the countries that were bad actors would change their ways. And then Israel decides to get rid of tariff.
And they tariffed them anyway.
Vietnam decides to cut their tariff, and they still got the highest tariff. It was such a shame because they missed the opportunity, and now they have to pay the price. And it's funny, too, because none of this stock market, none of this had to happen. And I feel bad because a lot of people lose money when this happens. I hope people just be calm, be constructive. But the way that they handled it was so Bush League that I was surprised. And President Trump has people who around him know these things. And
can you explain why
but
when
that's
you
the
hear
thing, like the right wing has moved past the idea that this is not happening. They're now saying that Trump purposefully crashed the economy. Trump himself said that he's purposefully crashing the economy. They're no longer claiming that, like, no, the economy's actually not crashing. They're like, no, it is, but we're doing it on purpose. That's what they're saying. He did, bro. I know. Trump purposefully crashed the economy. I said he would do this months ago in a fucking video. This will hurt the European Union more than the USA. I don't understand that mindset because we, the consumer, have to pay the increased price of goods that are tariffed. And in the United States, we don't fucking produce anything other than like weapons and corn and soybeans, right? We import like 70 to 90% of all of our goods. So all of our goods that we import, the prices are just going to go up. That's all that's going to happen.
The great deceiver is here. While he distracts you with one hand, he's robbing you with the other.
Volf, welcome. Well, thank you for becoming a loyalist, Volf. Let's get some W Volfs out there. Trump doesn't control the economy. Wall Street does. Remember, Occupy Wall Street? Yes, but you have to understand that the whole reason why the stock market is crashing is because the one thing investors want is predictability. They need to be able to think 6 to 7 months ahead so that they can know where to invest their money. Oh, this company's going to boom. I'm going to put money into it now before it booms. That's the whole point. So when Trump tosses on these massive tariffs and then says, I'm going to pull them out, I'm going to push them on, I'm going to raise them, I'm going to lower them, that is the death of predictability for investors. That's the reason why the stock market is crashing. He broke it down purposely. Did that to build it up better. Dude, listen. Dude, I'm not disagreeing with you. That's what he's doing. He's crashing the U.S. economy and claiming that he's going to be able to build it back up better, which means that the average man, the working class, is going to have to go through like a year and a half, maybe 2 fucking years of economic carnage, with the slim chance that manufacturers from across the planet are going to pack up shop, move to the U.S., buy a plot of land, build a fucking factory, hire thousands of American workers, and then make enough money to be tradable on the stock market. It's a gamble. It's a fucking insane gamble. His principle of unfair status quo is wrong. It's how he did it. Kramer just said it. Yeah, I know. I've been watching Kramer for a bit. Do you hope the gamble works out? Of fucking course I do. What do you think? I do this because I want America to collapse? No, I do this because I'm horrified that Donald Trump is going to bring about the demise of our nation. You know that, like, at the moment, like, Korea, Japan, and China have united, not militarily, but united to come up with a response to these tariffs. The European Union has done the same thing. NATO is coming up with a first draft on a proposition for America to slowly withdraw from NATO. Like, the United States is losing its global hegemony right now. We are losing our grip on everything.
Suboptimal.
Scott Besson, he is a smart guy.
He's very smart.
He is a smart, thoughtful, respected person. Right. And he came out and defended these.
Well, I think when you
But people like that, they know. He knows.
You know, I tried to think like that because Peter Navarro is someone I've known for 5 decades.
Yep.
And I was hoping that Peter, who I talked with a lot, really understood, because he understood. He taught me these things. And I know he knows what reciprocal tariff really is. And he didn't deliver on that. And that was a shame, because there was such a great opportunity to course correct and make it so all these people who have taken advantage of our country.
Aren't you anti-empire? Like, pick a side, bud? Yeah, I'm against imperialism. The fact that the United States operates with a guns and roses policy, you know, like we have soft power where we give medical aid to nations in Africa that like to deal with their HIV problems or Ebola. That is still a version of power. It's not just about the gun. It's also about the roses. It's not that I support fucking sending the troops over to Iraq and Afghanistan for a 22-year-long war. That's not what I support. But I support the United States being a supplier of wealth, being, you know, known as the strongest nation on planet Earth for both our military and our science, our innovation, our expertise. I want this to be a hub where people from all over the fucking planet come to the United States because we are the best. You come to the United States because we are the best. And we got the best scientists, the best schools, the best universities, the best hospitals. But that's not what we are. That's clearly not what we are.
Repeatedly and wiped out all the jobs in small towns, wiped out my father's job. This is one of the reasons why I've always felt like this. It's ridiculous how badly we've been taken advantage of. And I thought they were going to do something. And what did they do? They cratered the damn stock market and gave us nothing.
Well, I just want to emphasize again, I think it's so important to emphasize where you're coming from. Because there are some who will come out and say, well, you know, free trade. You know, Larry Kudlow, your old friend, right?
I know,
make the argument.
we always had it was a very flashpoint with me and Larry.
Right, was about free trade, and they'll make the economic argument for it, and they'll make, right, that you're not actually coming from that. You would have been open. You're not ideologically opposed to the concept of what they were trying to do.
Not at all.
But they didn't do it.
They made a bargain with the devil. They decided to get rid of the American working person's good job with a good pension and sacrifice it so we could get cheap goods. And they never thought for a minute, the Republicans or Democrats, what would happen to those towns and those people, and they were left behind. And I always felt that was horrendous. A president comes along that's going to do something about it, and this is what he does?
You know, part of the reason, and you and I are friends for a long, long time, but many people know our relationship for this one moment. Not this moment, but a moment.
They know it for decades of my so fortunate to be friends with you. And
I think I get the gist of what this guy's saying. This guy's just surprised that, you know, he's like, listen, what Trump said he was going to do would have actually been good for the economy. But he didn't do what he said he was going to do. These aren't reciprocal tariffs. They fucking, what did they put, a 90% tariff on Vietnam, I think? A 90% tariff on Vietnam. If there's any fucking nation that you shouldn't be tariffing, it's Viet fucking Nam, bro. We firebombed them to oblivion. For fuck's sake. Mic is too low. Matt, there's something wrong with the mic. Either I gotta reset it or something, but I don't know what the fuck to do about that. I have no idea what to do about that. Absolutely no idea. I went into the settings. I tried fixing this. See, filters. Add filter. Expander. Is that better? Is that louder? Is that better? I don't think it is. You were just far. It's fine. Yeah, I have to do some edits with the microphone settings. Just so you guys know, I'm an absolute dipshit when it comes to technology. You know what I'm saying? I'm an absolute fibby-fooby. Excuse me. Hey, Valenti, I love you. Thanks, Cena. Appreciate you. All right, what else do we got here?
Hey there, Morgan. Just within the past couple of seconds, the White House has finished a Oval Office pool spray with President Trump and President Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel. The President of the United States saying he is not considering any type of pause in terms of tariffs going forward, and in fact, doubling down on his threat to impose an additional 50% tariff on China.
How much tariffs did Vietnam have in the United States? Let me check. Will this answer it? Yeah, but what's their fucking rate? I don't want to know our rate. I want to know their rate. Oh, the U.S. administration claims that Vietnam's tariffs on U.S. goods are 90%. Are they really? In the case of Vietnam, the Trump administration claimed that U.S. exports to the market are charged a 90% tariff rate. The administration claims that this high rate has already weighted currency manipulation and trade barriers. Accordingly, the U.S. plans to impose an exceptionally high... Okay, but is there proof of this? Is there evidence of this? Is there any evidence of this? %? I don't know if I even believe that. There's a reason why it says claims. Like, why did they have to put in the word claims? %90 to 90%. No, that would be reciprocal. I don't know if this is true. There's a reason why this fucking says claims somewhere. Hit like and subscribe, guys. 120 viewers, only 40 likes. Yeah, that's true, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It helps me out a lot. Tariffs made us rich. That's what Trump's doing. Tariffs have never made us rich. What time period are you talking about? I mean, unless you're talking about colonial history, when the United States was the 13 colonies and we did not have manufacturing and tariffing other nations was the only possible way for us to make money. If there's what time period are you talking about? When are you talking about? I don't know. What? Then why'd you say that? What the fuck? Are you dead ass right now? Are you dead ass right now? How do you think we got rich? I can tell you how we got rich. We made most of our money during and right after World War I, right? World War I saw the largest war in human history over in Europe. And in the beginning of the war, we were just funding all of these European nations, right? Our trading with like one of these nations, I think it was the UK and France. We went from trading $825 million worth of goods to $3.2 billion over 2 years, from 1916 to 1918, right? And then in the tail end of World War I, we joined in, and we saw just how much fucking money the United States can make during a time of war, right? We made all this money. Then the stock markets open up right before the Great Depression of 1929. People start doing this thing called buying on margin, right? Now, what does that mean? That means that people were investing in stocks. The average Joe were investing in stocks, but they were using a loan, right? From what are they called? A broker, right? So let's say you want to invest $100 into shampoo, but you didn't have $100. People could invest $10 and get the remaining $90 loaned to them, right? From a broker, and then invest it, stock goes up, they make their money, and they pay back the broker with some interest, right? But what ended up happening was because we put all of these people in the stock market who didn't actually have this money, there was a point where everybody started to sell off, right? And suddenly this inflated bubble of the stock market popped, right? And we had a massive Depression in 1929. It's Black Tuesday and Black Thursday. Everybody started selling off their stocks. The banks couldn't even, they started selling their own stocks, and they started demanding that people pay them back all of the money that was loaned to them, right? But they couldn't do it. These people couldn't pay it, so they used the fucking banks, started to take people's furnitures, they took people's houses, they kicked people out onto the street, right? And what was Herbert Hoover's solution? President Hoover, what was his solution? What he thought would fix the problem. Does anybody in the chat know what he thought would fix the problem of this failing economy? Hoover. What did Hoover think in 1930? Tariffs. 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 It was called the Smoot and Hawley tariffs. He thought that tariffs would fix the problem. He put a tariff on 20,000 goods that were imported into the U.S., which is nothing compared to what Trump did. And it exacerbated the problem. It made the economy even fucking worse, okay? To the point where finally, in 1933, FDR gets elected and he, the fucking New Deal, the National Highway System, the New Deal Coalition, yada, yada, bing, bong, boom, the rest. Military-industrial complex. We make a fuckload of money selling money to Europe again during World War II because, Hitler takes power in 33. The war starts in 39. We don't join until 41. We're funding all these nations the whole fucking time. Finally, we get in. We make a whole bunch of money. Military-industrial complex booms. We got a fucking Cold War. We're in a goddamn space race. We're making money. They're making money. It's a fucking... This is how we made money. This is how we made money. By fucking making weapons and selling weapons. That's how we made our money. Okay? No. Great point. Great point, Anthony. No. You know what? I hadn't considered no. The New York Times says Vietnam's tariffs on the U.S. are 9.4%. That's interesting. I don't know who's right or who's wrong. Thanks for the lesson, sir. You're welcome. You're fucking welcome.
If that country doesn't lower its retaliatory 34% tariffs on the United States. So,
do you like Jesus? I'm going to crash out. And it's not that I don't like Jesus. It's that, why are we bringing up Jesus? Why?
The president here holding a firm line and explaining that he feels that he has a once-in-a-generation shot here to reset the global trade table, as he put it, in terms of the U.S. Relationship with countries around the world.
I'm 27, Battle Axe.
Interestingly, Morgan, in this Oval Office session with Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister...
And don't worry, we're going to watch this Oval Office session with Benjamin Netanyahu. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out.
...said that Israel is committing to President Trump that it is going to lower its or eliminate its trade deficit with the United States. So the implication there is Israel is going to find some way to buy a lot of American stuff and do that pretty soon.
I want to unplug and replug my microphone real quick and see if that fixes the problem. No, dude, what the fuck? And then if I turn it down, it goes down. You see how it goes down? But then when I turn it back up, it goes up, it goes up, it goes up. And then once it hits the yellow, it's like there's a blocker. It doesn't allow me to push past the yellow, right? Because there's green, yellow, red. It doesn't let me push past the fucking yellow. And I want it to be able to push past the fucking yellow. What the fuck? What does that mean? Why won't it let me push past the yellow? Asshole. Properties. Mike is completely fine. I'll throw you off a bridge. Is there surely a way? What did you just say, Malenti? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't give a fuck that you're my mod. You're getting thrown in the goddamn brig. You are getting thrown in the goddamn brig for that. Half an hour timeout. Absolutely not. Unacceptable.
And what President Trump is saying here is that what he wants is other countries to come to him to negotiate. And in order to negotiate, what he wants them to do is to come down to zero in terms of tariffs and then go below that in terms of what they call non-monetary tariffs or non-monetary barriers to trade. So the president here putting down a pretty hard line here, but saying he's simultaneously looking to raise revenue with these tariffs and have them be permanent while also engaging in negotiations, Morgan.
He's been consistent, and so has most of his administration with that messaging, even if it seems like it contradicts itself. I am curious, you sort of just took the words right out of my mouth, Eamon, and that is how closely now should we watch the dynamics between the U.S. and Israel as a template from which other countries start to maybe negotiate their own bilateral agreements, assuming that's what comes out of this?
Morgan, you used the word template. Benjamin Netanyahu used the word model in terms of what he wants the Israel example to be here. He said, we're going to do this, and we think that we can be a model for other countries. Clearly, these are two political leaders who are joined at the hip in many ways politically, Netanyahu and Trump. And so this is among the friendliest negotiations that you might see on the global stage. But we also saw Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, signal earlier today that he is opening negotiations with the Japanese government to lower tariffs and non-tariff barriers. So, I guess the answer is we'll see, right? I mean, this is both a White House that is saying that these tariffs are permanent and also a White House that's saying that it is engaging in negotiations to eliminate them.
Yeah, so even the fucking White House themselves, they don't know what the fuck is going on. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on anymore, dude. We got what is this?
We start the day's other headline.
No, I'd rather just watch the actual thing itself. How long is this?
A special person. I've dealt with him for a long time, Benjamin Netanyahu.
All right, we're going to record this. All right, I'm going to record this. So, Trump met with a war criminal. It's two war criminals meeting in the fucking White House. And we know this because Trump tweeted out a fucking war crime, a video of a goddamn war crime the other day. And Benjamin Netanyahu has an actual arrest warrant for war crimes issued by the ICC, which the United States doesn't acknowledge anyway. But, we're going to watch a little bit of this. This is a 50-minute long fucking meeting. Is he actually there the entire time? Jesus Christ, dude. Donnie loves to speak. Let's watch some of this. If it gets too impossible to listen to, we're going to fucking speed up the video. But real quick, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. We make these videos live. I am live right now. That's why you can see the chat. If you hit that notification bell, you'll know when we go live, and you could be included in this operation. On top of that, this is real independent media. I have no funding. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser or a billionaire or a foreign government. So if you do want to help the channel out financially, there's a handful of ways you could do it. You could just donate money straight in the chat or in the comment section. You could buy some of the Valenti Videos merch down below. You could use a 40% off discount on Ground News in the description down below. You can become a member to the YouTube channel for $5, which gives you early access to these videos. And last but certainly not least, you can become a patron on Patreon for $5. Big shout out to all of my patrons. Big shout out to anybody who has donated money. That helps this channel go on. It helps me pay my fucking rent. Pays for the new computer that we fucking need because this shit is not working out. But regardless, let's dive right in and let's watch Trump and Netanyahu hold a meeting in the Oval Office.
Special person. I've dealt with him for a long time, Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel. and we had lunch together. We had meetings together.
We had lunch together.
Along with his
We had
very
lunch
capable
together.
staff. And I think we've come up to some pretty good solutions and conclusions. And we'll be working a little bit after this, and then I assume you're going back home.
Yes, sir.
This is a quick stop, in and out. But we appreciate you being here, and we are a friend of Israel, as you know. I would say.
As you know, I put on the hat and I kiss the wall. You know I love Israel. You know I do. You know I do. I bomb the Houthis for you. I'll do anything for you.
That I'm by far the best president that Israel has ever even thought of seeing. And
actually, I would say Joe Biden was the best president that Israel's ever seen. Joe Biden fucking gave them hundreds of millions of dollars to fund a genocide, and he did not ask for a dollar back. There was no plan for them to fucking give us that money back, even without interest. No plan.
It's an honor to be so, and to be so thought of. Many friends in Israel. They are not in an easy area. It doesn't go easy, but we are helping them. And likewise, they've been helping us very much. And so we'll see how it all works out. But we had great discussions.
How is Israel helping us in any way other than, like, probably militarily doing, like, secret fucking operations? You know, with, what are they called? God damn it. What's the fucking name of the goddamn Israeli secret force? Somebody in chat. It's on the tip of my tongue. Not the fucking IDF. Mossad!
Today, I think, on the obvious subject of Iran, and also the less obvious subject with respect to Israel, and that's trade. And I think the Prime Minister is going to tell you a little bit about trade and what they're doing for the United States. So I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you very much. And
thank you.
Benjamin, thank you very much.
Oh, he's trying to pull the hand. He's trying to pull the hand, but
thank you, Don.
Ben knows. BB knows!
Mr.
You
President,
ain't pulling
I
that
want
hand.
to first thank you for inviting me again to...
They're in a fucking... They're in a war criminal off right now. That handshake was like, who? I'm the fucking war criminal. No, I'm the war criminal. No, I'm the fucking war criminal. No, I'm the fucking war criminal.
White House, you've been a remarkable friend of the state of Israel.
Austin Horn just became a loyalist. Thank you very much, Austin. Let's get some W. Austins.
You stand by us. You're standing with us. You are a great, great champion of our alliance. And you actually do the things that you say you do. And I think that people respect that.
He does the things he says he does. Brother, he said he would end your fucking genocide on day one. Didn't do it. Said he would end the war in Ukraine within 24 hours. Didn't do it. Said he was going to lower the price of goods in the United States. Fucking raised them. The fuck do you mean? What are you talking about?
Enormously.
Unless, you know what it is. They had those meetings in Mar-a-Lago before the inauguration. Guarantee you Trump told him, like, listen, Bibi, listen, my sweet, sweet Bibi, if you allow me to be the president, if you participate in my election, then I will give you all the bombs you need.
I certainly do, and the people of Israel do, and I think the Jewish people do as well. We just saw your representative in the Department of Justice fighting anti-Semitism, standing up for Israel in international forums. I just want you to know from the heart, it's deeply, deeply appreciated. As you said, we had the opportunity to talk today about...
You think that's a hairpiece? Low-key, I think that's probably a fucking hairpiece, right? You think he's like bald? I'm trying to imagine him fully fucking bald, and I'm having a hard time doing it.
Many subjects. First, if I can mention tariffs.
Bro, Hamas pulled the October 7th stunt. What the fuck did you expect to happen? I wouldn't call that a stunt. I would call that like a heinous act of mass murder. Yeah, what Hamas did on October 7th was absolutely abhorrent. Do you know how many fucking people Israel has killed so far in Palestine? Like 200,000. Insulting world leaders now. Wow, by the way, dude, I don't know if you know this, but the International Criminal Court has an arrest warrant out for Benjamin Netanyahu for being a war criminal. If I can't insult a war criminal's hairpiece, then what the fuck else do you want to take from me? You can't have my dog. You can't have my cat. The fuck?
It's a subject of some interest today. I can tell you that I said to the president a very simple thing. We will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States. We intend to do it very quickly. We think it's the right thing to do. And we're going to also eliminate trade barriers, a variety of trade barriers that have been put up unnecessarily. And I think Israel can serve as a model for many countries who ought to do the same. I recognize the position of the United States. It says, you know, we're allowing other countries to put tariffs on us, but we don't put tariffs on them. And, you know, I'm a free trade champion, and free trade has to be fair trade. And I think that's basically the position that you've put forward, Mr. President. We are going to eliminate the tariffs, and rapidly. I had the opportunity.
I struggle to understand what like the modern misconception is with tariffs. Because what he's saying, what Bibi is saying, is he's like, we're going to lift the tariffs that we have. Thank you for the floating hearts. We're going to lift the tariffs that us, Israel, he's saying, we're going to lift the tariffs that Israel has on American goods, right? Now, all that does is lower the price of American goods for Israeli consumers. For the Israeli citizens that are buying American goods, it lowers the price of those goods, right? So, I don't understand how an American can hear Netanyahu say that and go, oh, that's going to help me, because it's not. What would help you is if Netanyahu's action by doing that made Trump drop or lower the tariffs on Israeli goods. That way, if you're one of the few people that are buying Israeli goods, your goods don't have an increased price because there's a fucking tariff on it. I genuinely struggle to understand what the logic is in the conservative brain for this. And it's not like tariffs in and of itself are a bad thing. Targeted tariffs work. Trump proved this to us in 2017. He put targeted tariffs on Chinese washing machines, okay? And you know what ended up happening? The American washing machine industry fucking skyrocketed because the price of Chinese washing machines got too high. I'm gonna burp. Ugh, small burp. More of a scream. But that's not the point. When you put a blanket tariff on every single good that is imported into the United States from every single nation on earth, and we don't yet have the manufacturing for those goods, all you are doing is increasing the price of goods for the American consumer until this hypothetical unknown time where manufacturers across the planet pack up shop, move to the United States, buy a plot of land, build a fucking factory, hire thousands of American workers, and then make enough money to be tradable on the American stock market. That is fucking years down the line. Years down the line. And hypothetical.
To speak to Secretary Lutnick yesterday. We talked about how we could effect this quickly, and I hope to bring the solution very quickly. We're not talking about intentions. We're not talking about, just words. We're talking about results. And those results are going to come back. That's the first.
Thank you very much. It's very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President, what about the hostages here?
Well,
What about the hostages?
Let him finish.
I didn't finish. I'm going to begin. We spoke about not only the hostages, but about Gaza. The hostages obviously is a human story of just unbearable agony. I speak to the families. I spoke to them yesterday. Spoke to another one when I was in Hungary before I came here.
I often wonder why Trump constantly sits in the same position, this like weird shrimp style position. I mean, I don't know if it's just like his body type, but personally, I feel like this doesn't give off strength. Like if he leaned back, maybe. I don't fucking know.
I speak to them every day. They're in agony. The hostages are in agony, and we want to get them all out. Steve Witkoff.
By the way, while we're on the topic of hostages, this guy bombed his own hostages. Like there were hundreds of Israelis that were taken hostage by Hamas. I think now it's down to like 50 something. But many of the hostages that were taken by Hamas were literally blown to smithereens by the IDF. It's fucking crazy.
So President Trump's very able representative helped us get a deal that got 25 out. We're working now on another deal that we hope will succeed. And we're committed to getting all the hostages out, but also eliminating the evil tyranny of Hamas in Gaza and enabling the people of Gaza to freely make a choice to go wherever they want. I mean, they should have that choice. And the president put forward.
Listen, I'm just going to say something that I hope you guys don't consider to be absolutely insane. But listen, the Palestinian people, by and large, do not want Hamas to be their government. I don't support Hamas, but I do think that the best way for you to give, like he's saying, give the Palestinian people a chance to create their own government, right, would probably be to stop giving Hamas a leg to stand on, right? Because every bomb you drop on the Palestinian, every civilian you kill makes Hamas have more legitimacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't want the people in Palestine to support Hamas, maybe stop the genocide. Maybe don't violate the ceasefire this time. Maybe give the people a chance, and then say you had like a fucking year-long ceasefire and then Hamas violates the ceasefire and you got concrete evidence that it was them, then you got a fucking leg to stand on. You know, like, hypothetically, if Benjamin Netanyahu came out and he said, listen, as of today, we are stopping the genocide in Gaza, and we are starting a permanent ceasefire, and I give you my word right now that if any IDF soldier violates this ceasefire, that not only did they do this against my orders, but they will be punished to the extent of the law. On another note, if Hamas decides to violate this ceasefire, then the war will continue. If he said something like that, I'd be like, okay, that's something you could fucking work with. You know what I'm saying? That's something you could fucking work with. But this fucking ain't. I hope that doesn't sound insane. I hope that's not an insane mindset.
Vision, a bold vision, which we discussed as well, including the countries that might be amenable and are amenable to accepting Palestinians of their free choice if they choose to go there. And I think that's...
I do just want to comment on one comment real quick. This guy, Mario G. David, said, they use AI to get the terrorists. Do you really think the Hamas uses any tool or that they randomly target people? Hamas doesn't have access to AI. But notice how you're aware that the IDF, Israel, uses AI targeting systems to find these terrorists. And yet, 200,000 civilians have been killed. Even though the Israelis have access to like the top tier technology, they have nuclear weapons, they got satellites in space, they are still managing to slaughter hundreds of thousands of people. It's, listen, I don't know.
The second thing that we discussed, but the hostages came right on top. We also discussed the situation in Syria. We've had neighborly relations with Turkey that have deteriorated, and we don't want to see Syria being used by anyone, including Turkey, as a base for attacking Israel.
Turkey would never in a million fucking years attack Israel. Why? Because Turkey is the second largest army in NATO. Turkey is like an American extension. That's like the equivalent of fucking America attacking Israel. Never in a million fucking years would the Turkish government attack Israel. Dude, oh my God, Turkey's gonna watch Turkey attack Israel in like 6 months, and this fucking video just goes viral.
Turkey is
that clip.
A country that has a great relationship with the United States. The president has a relationship with the leader of Turkey. We discussed how we can avoid this conflict in a variety of ways, and I think we can't have a better interlocutor than the president of the United States for this purpose. And of course, we also discussed Iran. Look, we're both united in the goal that Iran does not ever get nuclear weapons.
I agree.
It can be done diplomatically in a full way, the way it was done in Libya. I think that would be a good thing. But whatever happens, we have to make sure that Iran does not have nuclear weapons.
So that would be a good start. If Iran did not ever get nuclear weapons, that's a good start. The next step after that would be to take away Israel's nuclear weapons, because it is a really bad idea for any sort of theocratic nation, any sort of religious theocracy to have access to a nuclear weapon, especially if your laws are based on a fucking book and your religion and you think you're sent by God. That's an incredibly dangerous conversation. It's an incredibly dangerous combination to allow somebody who's a fucking religious zealot to have access to a nuclear weapon.
That's the end of my speech.
Mr. President,
That's the end of Netanyahu's speech. That's 5 minutes. This is a 50-minute long video. How fucking long does Mango Mussolini have to talk?
Having direct talks with, wait a minute, wait. We're having direct talks with Iran, and they've started. It'll go on Saturday. We have a very big meeting, and we'll see what can happen. And I think everybody agrees that doing a deal would be preferable to doing the obvious. And the obvious is not something that I want to be involved with, or frankly, that Israel wants to be involved with, if they can.
The obvious is fucking World War III. That's what you're saying. No, Donald, do not start World War III. Luigi, do hai ras, likiri. Fucking doggy. I don't know if you guys can even hear her barking. Can you? Let me check my mic. You can.
Avoid it, so we're going to see if we can avoid it.
Come here.
But it's getting to be very dangerous territory, and hopefully those talks will be successful, and I think it would be in Iran's best interest.
1 second. Luigi, kommen Sie hier vielleicht? Achtung, komm. Bosserhund. Nein, Bosserhund. All right, there she goes. All right.
If they are successful, we hope that's going to happen. And we had just a lot of good talks on a lot of things. I appreciate very much what you said about the tariffs. We've been ripped off and taken advantage of by many countries over the years, and can't do it anymore. Just can't do it anymore. Can't be the stupid people anymore. And it's
what does he mean by ripped
of,
off? Because when Israel puts tariffs on us, it's not like us, the American population, have to pay that tariff. That is a charge that goes onto the Israeli consumer. This is what we covered earlier.
The people that sat in the seat right here, not your seat, but this seat, they allowed things to happen to our country that they shouldn't have allowed to happen on trade and other things, many other things. I mean, look at what's happened with our last president, where he allowed millions of people to come into our country with an open border. Who would want an open border? How stupid was that? But he allowed millions and millions of people, and of the millions, and I think it was 21 million people, but let's say 3 of them were serious criminals, serious murderers and drug dealers and gang members and people from jails. All the jails emptied out right into our country, right along the open border on Mexico, generally the Mexico. They came in from Canada too, by the way, a lot. But generally speaking, on the southern border. And what a shame it is that we are now working very hard to get them out, get the criminals out, get the murderers out, the drug dealers, the mentally insane, get them out. They dropped the mentally insane in our country too. And this was all done.
Again, guys, he's been claiming this for like 4 years. There's never been a single shred of evidence that other nations are emptying out their prisons and mental asylums to send those people to the United States. Never once has he been able to provide a shred of evidence of this claim.
Done by the Biden administration. It's a disgrace that we have to work so hard. And then we have judges that try and protect these people, but they didn't protect us when the people were being let in. But to get them out is never easy with these people. So I think we're doing a great job.
That last part he just said? He has a problem with federal judges that are doing their job. A judge is not on the side of you, Trump, or the immigrant that you're trying to deport. The judge is on the side of the law. There are lawyers who are then involved defending the undocumented immigrant, and there is a prosecuting lawyer, a prosecutor, who would be charging them with the crime. Now, Trump has already signed 2 executive orders that directly target law firms that have defended people the Trump administration has targeted. So now we're reaching the point where not only is Trump targeting federal judges who I guess just don't agree with his fucking mindset, and he's targeting law firms that defend people he targets. It's going to get to the point where people are not even going to be able to get a lawyer to defend them, nor will they be able to find a judge to hear the fucking case. It's unbelievable.
The border is the best it's ever been. It's even as strong as it was. I had a great, solid border. I think it might even be tougher right now and stronger. So people are coming into our country, but they're coming in legally. We have a legal process, and we have that moving along properly because we need people to come into our country, but we want people that can love our country and cherish our country. So that's where we are. And with that, any questions?
Mr. President, the European Union back into the markets today, and would you be open to a pause in tariffs to allow for negotiations?
Well, we're not looking at that. We have many, many countries that are coming to negotiate deals with us, and they're going to be fair deals. And in certain cases, they're going to be paying substantial tariffs. There'll be fair deals.
What do you mean they're going to be paying substantial tariffs? I know this is the 3rd time I've covered this, but I genuinely don't think Donald Trump understands tariffs. The other nations don't write us a check for the amount of money that we're charging the tariffs on their imports. I pay the check. You pay the check. The American consumer pays the fucking bill. What does he think happens when he puts a tariff on fucking foreign goods? I'm pretty sure there's even some MAGA in the chat who understand how the tariffs work. You understand it.
As you know, I spoke this morning with the Prime Minister of Japan, and we had a very good conversation. They're coming. And I said, one thing, you're going to have to open up your country because we sold no cars, like 0 cars in Japan, and they sold millions of cars into our country.
That's because they make cars. The United States doesn't make a single car that is 100% made with domestic parts. There's no such thing as an American car, Donald. Even manufacturers like Tesla or Ford or General Motors, they ship parts from other nations to make the car here, brother. We don't make cars here.
They don't really take our agriculture, a little bit of it, just to keep us slightly happy, but...
What fucking Our soybeans? What do you think, we got rice paddies?
They don't take what they're supposed to be taking. So we have a great relationship with Japan. We're going to keep it that way, but they're coming in to meet, and other countries are coming in. With China, as you know, against my statement, they put a 34% tariff on above what their ridiculous tariffs were already. And I said, if that tariff isn't removed by tomorrow at 12 o'clock, we're putting a 50% tariff on above the tariffs that we put on. So they've gone for
50% above what we put on them. What did we put on them? 34. So you want to put an 84% tariff on Chinese goods when we get fucking everything from China? Brother, 90 for, like, what, like, Master Chief, where you made? Where are you made, Master Chief? China! Made in China! Here's my Chinese air conditioning that I keep on sucking on. Fucking China! Fucking, I don't know, fucking Spain. But what the fuck are we talking about? What are we talking about? 84? 84?
years. They've become a rich country because of people, again, that were in the White House that allowed this to happen. Hundreds of billions of dollars a year they'd make on us on trade, and it shouldn't be that way. And I have a great relationship with President Xi. I hope it's going to stay that way.
Bro,
I have great
my fucking Rose toy that I have in right now is made in China.
respect for China, but they can't do this. We're going to have one shot at this, and no other president's going to do this, what I'm doing. And I'll tell you what, it's an honor to do it because we have been just destroyed, what they've done to our system. You know, we have $36 trillion of debt for a reason. And
I think he's slowly losing his mind. This is crazy to watch. Wow. You know, the left, man, they're like, they're trying to criminalize comedy, like legalize comedy, bro. I mean, I'm living the meme, bro. You know, like legalize comedy.
The reason is that people allowed it to get that way. So we'll be talking to China. We'll be talking to a lot of different countries. And I think, you know, if we can make a really fair deal and a good deal for the United States, not a good deal for others. This is America first. It's now America first. And we didn't put America first. We put America last. The people that were in the Oval Office put America last, and we're not going to stand for it.
Talks with Iran. Two questions. Do you expect any of these deals to be made before April 9th? And secondly, there have been some mixed messages from your administration. You're talking about negotiations, and yet others in your administration are saying that these tariffs are actually permanent. What is the actual?
Well, it could be. They can both be true. There can be permanent tariffs, and there can also be negotiations because.
How can it be? Oh, well, I guess he could put permanent tariffs on some countries and negotiate with others.
Because there are things that we need beyond tariffs. We need open borders. You know, we almost had a deal with China where we're going to open up China. It was almost done. Some of you remember it during my first term. And it was very disappointing. We ended up making a great deal. $50 billion worth of product was sold. $50 billion. You'd like that in Israel. And I made that deal, but it wasn't the deal that I wanted. It was the deal that I wanted was that, plus they were going to open up China so that our companies could go into China and compete with other countries and China for the...
So you just wanted to ship... Did he just admit that he wanted to ship more manufacturing to China? When he's talking about, like, bringing manufacturing back to the U.S., how can it possibly be both? How could you... This is fucking nuts. This is fucking nuts. This is going to go on for another 40 goddamn minutes. So, for the people who are watching this pre-recorded, for the people who are watching the YouTube video, I'm going to cut it here. You've seen plenty. The real meat and potatoes was what fucking Netanyahu had to say. But, listen, before you go, let me remind you to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It helps me a lot. It costs you nothing. If you do want to help the channel financially, because this is independent media, there's a bunch of ways you could do it. You fucking know the ways to do it. I'm not going to repeat them again. So I'm going to cut the video here. If you're watching this live, stay. The live stream is not ending, but the video is. Thank you! Oh. All right. Let's keep watching this fabagoob. Putting him in 1.5 speed.
You know, for a large number of people. And at the very end, that deal was terminated, and we went to a piece of the deal. And so there are a lot of things outside of tariffs, but tariffs are very important. But there are a lot of things like opening up countries that were totally closed. China's essentially a closed country. In fact, it is a closed country. And what they do is they charge...
There should be a button, Bryce Smith, that says join. Right down below the screen, there should be a button that says join. However, I'm not sure if that is even there on mobile. I have no idea. All right, kick-ass video, Chris. Thanks, Retro. I'm going to get that posted up soon.
Tariffs, so that if you sell cars or if you sell anything, nobody's going to buy it because the price is out of control. But that's true with a lot of other countries also. So we're going to get fair.
You know what I do want to do is maybe I can make a thumbnail super quick. We're going to lose frames while I do this, I'm telling you. We're absolutely going to lose frames. No, that's a shit quality photo. Do Jim Cramer with Trump golfing. I'm trying to make the thumbnail real quick, Malentoid. I'm trying to make a thumbnail. Trump is wearing a red tie in it. When was it? Was it yesterday? Was it today? It was today. Is Malenti acoustic? Very. Dude, Trump is wearing a red fucking tie in this, so what the fuck? Why are these all blue ties? Where's a picture from fucking today? How about... All right, I got an idea. That's a good one. All right. Now, so those two are going to be in it, but what's the background? I need a background. Why is this about Netanyahu? Because Netanyahu's in the fucking meeting, dipshit. That's why. Because Netanyahu's on the fucking screen, asshole. Because the whole fucking reason this meeting happened is because of fucking Netanyahu, dipshit. The fuck is this? Fuck off. How's everybody doing today? Poorer? Yeah. Kids bullied me at school today. You probably fucking deserved it, dork. No, I'm totally fucking with you, bro. I'm totally fucking with you. I just wanted to see if I could make you laugh. But, hey, if it makes you feel any better, those kids that are bullying you probably get abused. Chris was bullied for being the fat kid. Indeed, I was. Indeed, I was. All right. All you brokies, have you considered not spending more money than you make? You know, dude, I haven't. I had never considered that, Bartonius Austinius. But now that you've given me the thought, I mean, fuck, dude. Maybe I'll get on my hands and knees and praise you. Are you my God? Because that's fucking genius. Oh, sweet fucking Jesus. All right, what should the text say? How's that? Can't write the B word? Are you fucking kidding? Everything's tariff. Everything's tariff. How about that? Everything's tariff. All right, that'll do. I got the Malenti approval. Okay. Thumbnussy. Okay. Can you rant about TikTok being fucking dumb? Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I got banned on TikTok for the 6th fucking time. This time I got banned for calling Elon Musk a fucking dork, which he absolutely is. If you disagree that Elon Musk is a dork, you're a dork. All right, we need a title for this video as well. We need a title. You guys want to help with the title? Trump triples down on tariffs and Netanyahu helps. Okay. I like that. Trump triples down on tariffs. Netanyahu gargles his nuts on live TV. How's that? Trump triples down on tariffs. Netanyahu gargles his nuts on live TV. How's that? How's that? That's a good one, yeah? You can't hear me. Fuck you mean you can't hear me? Not offensive enough. How about Trump triples down on tariffs. Netanyahu cups his balls like a good boy. How about Trump triples down on tariffs? Netanyahu gargles his nuts like a good boy. I'll put gargles his nuts in caps. Gargles his nuts. Yeah, now that's a fucking title. That's a title. No issues were found with the video, ladies and gentlemen. We have not violated any guidelines. Trump and Netanyahu meet in the Oval Office for some ass play and war crimes. Tariffs go without being said. You're not seeing that 401k, dummy. Malenti has good takes. Dude, fucking ask Malenti about trans people. You'll immediately disagree. You'll immediately take back what you just said. He's going to be mad that I said that. He's going to be really mad that I said that. Didn't know. I think there's another. Wait, what'd you say? Didn't know. I think there's another channel uploading his videos. Don't know if it was him or not. Huh? What'd you say? Chris, are you really banned on TikTok again? Yeah. Yeah, why would I lie about that, dude? Add an end screen. Checks. Publish. Video published, folks. Hell yeah. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, there we go. There we go. Work is finished. Liberty Bible's at Bryant Park. He changed his mind. Fucking stay there, Liberty Bible. I can hop on the next fucking train. I'll be there in less than 30 minutes. We'll do a 5-round fade. No gloves. No tap out. No witnesses. You down with that? That's a complete fucking joke for YouTube moderators who are like watching this. That's a complete fucking joke. Go back to history vids. Come on, man. You're going weird. Dude, look, can I explain something to you? I study history. I love history. I also studied political science. But I do this not because I want to be doing this. I do this because I find it to be my duty. You understand that I got tens of millions of views on my history videos, right? You understand that? Oh, fuck, it's the YouTube police. Shit. I'm sorry. But, 5-star, you understand. I just love watching your history videos, man. So just hear me out then, 5-star. Hear me out. I got tens of millions of, I'm not lying, I got 1 billion views overall. 1 billion plus views on my YouTube channel. That is gone. Or on my TikTok channel. I made a fuckload of money, getting ad deals, all this shit, right? I could have stuck to history. But I'm doing this because I genuinely think that my nation is collapsing before my very eyes, and I know that people like me for history. They think I'm smart. They know that I know how to really tell a story. They like the way that I talk. And I find it to be my goddamn duty to do this thankless shit. I get fucking spam reported. I get the police called on me. The fucking FBI, the Secret Service. I make fucking nothing on TikTok anymore. I don't do this because it's... What? Because it's... I don't even know. I do this because I believe in this. I'm trying to educate you. I'm trying to get you to stop yourself before it's too late. Not you specifically, but a lot of young Americans who are very fucking confused. I don't do this because, like, what do you think? Do you think I'm getting fucking paid by the DNC? Is that what you, like, unless you think that, why the fuck would I do this? And no, I don't get fucking paid by the DNC. They would never fucking pay me because I say all the time that Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, Kamala Harris are all fucking wolves in sheep's clothing. I say this all the time. Okay, I get that, but can you just go back to history vids, but you just talk about Trump all the time? That's what I'm trying to tell you, 5-star gang gang. I cannot just go back to history videos. That would be easy. This is not. This is important. This is what my fucking destiny is. My desire is to just teach you guys history and pretend like everything's okay and remind you that the present isn't happening by showing you how bad the past is. But I can no longer do that in good conscience. I can't do it. I don't like Trump really, but I get it. I can't do it. Not gonna lie, you can get a pic of you doing the action and you got me sold. What does that even mean, John? What does that mean? You can get a pic of you doing the action and you got me sold. What does that mean, John? What does it mean? I used to like Trump, but you made me change my mind. Thank you, Brian. You are the example that I'm talking about. I do this because even if it's just fucking Brian, it's something. I have to try. Otherwise, we're going to look back at this moment fucking 30, 40 years and go, who was ringing the alarm bells? Who was trying to help? Who was saying things, this is not okay, this is fucking bad? Me. Oligargles is nuts. Oligargles is nuts. I gotta bring that up when it comes to Elon. Next fucking video about Elon. I gotta say that either Elon or Trump is oligargling is nuts. That's fucking genius. That's fucking genius. Just make it now? Fuck you. I'm hungry. You know what I've eaten today? A quarter of a head of romaine lettuce and 6 carrot chips. Fuck you. Fuck you, Matt. Your mom's a bitch. Fuck you, Malenti. Whoa. Brother, Malenti's my brother. Malenti is my brother. We share the same mother. We share the same mother. I thought Malenti was adopted. I mean, adopted's one way to put it. We found him in a fucking box on the side of Highway 95. It was a sign. It said, "Leave here. Do not take. Feral and stupid." And my father, he said, you know what? I'll take it. What's it like to be gay, Jesus? It's fucking great, dude. And also, your question should be, what's it like to be Jesus? Because Jesus was kissing boys left and right. Jesus was gayer than anyone you know. Jesus was, in fact, king of the gays. What's it like to be gay, Jesus? Bro, that's so disrespectful. Shut the fuck up, snowflake. I was Catholic for 16 years. I was an altar boy. I've been touched by a priest just like you. I can fucking make fun of Jesus all I want. Smite me down, almighty one. Fucking who gives a shit? It's a joke. It's a fucking joke. For fuck's sake. Fucking 7 Allahu Akbars are in the chat right now. Oh, sweet fucking Jesus. We're kissing boys. We're kissing boys. Wait, who deleted the Allahu Akbar guy? What the fuck? All that means is God is great in Arabic. I have zero tolerance for that. Matt, what the fuck? You could put him in the corner for 24 hours, but that means God is great in Arabic. Just put him in the corner. You don't need to fucking ban him. Yeah, that literally means God is good. Like, you can't fucking ban him for saying that. You can put him in the corner if he's annoying and spamming, but you can't fucking ban him for saying that. See, now he's spamming it. Now put him in the corner for 24 hours. Send him to a black site immediately. Immediately. It's used by people before they bomb themselves. Yeah, Mario, yeah. I know. But it's also used by people who are praying. It's not, Allahu Akbar is not a bad phrase. Bad people have used the phrase, but it literally translates to God is good. That's all that means. Why do you look like a fart? I don't know, man. My dad was an asshole. That was good. You know that was good. It was quick. It was on point. That was fucking good, and you know it. Not that you don't look cool and rock and roll, you do, but man, you'd be hot with short hair. I used to have short hair. I mean, I'll probably cut my hair again one day. But the whole thing about the long hair is right now I consider this phase of my life to be a character arc. Like, I am currently in development. I'm like a Pokemon going from phase 2 to final form. Once I hit final form and I look like an actual Greek god, then potentially we'll cut the hair. Cut your hair this week. Jack, put Matt in the corner for 4 years. He can come back from Trump's third term. Yeah, dude, I need mod-on-mod violence right now. You know, a real problem is the mod-on-mod violence. It's crazy because mods only make up 13% of the population, and yet moderators commit 50% of the crimes in the chat. It is absolutely abhorrent. Weenie girl, what's wrong? I gotta go, guys. I gotta fucking eat. I'm fucking hungry. I'm a hungry guy. So has Elon Musk done any of the conflicts of interest you were so worried about? Yes, all of them. Elon Musk has defunded the FAA. The FAA was investigating SpaceX because their rockets keep exploding. Elon Musk has defunded the Department of Transportation. The Department of Transportation had an investigation into Tesla because these cybercabs keep driving into walls. Doge defunded the SEC, which had an open investigation into Neuralink. Doge defunded the CPFB, which had an open investigation into X regarding their new launch of X dollars in direct correlation with a deal they made with Visa. Yes! Everything, yeah, all of those conflicts of interest happened. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. Oh, Jesus, I gotta fucking put Matt in the corner again. I gotta put my own mod in the corner again. There he goes. There he goes. Who are you modding? That's my brother. It's my brother. I can't do anything about my brother being transphobic. That's just who he is. I try to fix him, but it's just something he will never... He'll die on that hill. He'll die on that fucking hill. Is Malenti MAGA? No, he may be stupid, but he ain't fucking dumb. Why does Matt hate trans people? I don't fucking know. No place for trans people around here? Nope, you're getting fucking banned. See, this is why I think I'm going to take away Matt's modding privileges. I'm serious. I think I'm taking them away because he does this. He spawns this type of shit into my chat. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It helps me out a lot. I'm going to go get some food in me. I'm going to feed these babies.